I created this flight to show a very short flight with Concorde using AutoPilot and AutoLand. The Concorde already was a bit temperamental before the 2024 update. Now it's even a bit more. The development team has not really do quality testing. Dealing with the AutoPilot now feels like as if the plane is going to fall off the sky. The response to AutoPilot controls are so quick and violent. Plus some issues with the altitude setting, where now you can only set 500 or 10,000 and above. So if you have altitude between these numbers, you have to play around with Alt-Acquire/Hold buttons. This is a short flight, about 20 to 25 minutes from San Francisco International Airport to San Jose International in California. Make sure to pick a flight plan that's not broken. Open your VFR and ensure all the waypoints are connected. If not, you have to pick a different plan or departure/arrival route. This one I picked works. I won't be flying too high as it's a very short flight. Altitude will be set around 4,000 feet and speed around 250 knots. Turn on both flight directors.
Southwest 2125, heavy number 2 for landing. Follow the Airbus A20N on final. Wind calm, cleared to land runway tree 0 right. Cleared to land runway tree 0 right number 2 southwest.
Turn on afterburners. The flight plan looks good and no disconnections. We're taking off in the opposite direction of the flight path, around 1,000 feet or so we can enable AutoPilot. It will turn around and catch the flight path. Okay, we're set. Parking brake off and full power. You should see the 4 engines light up. If you don't, then you probably forgot to turn the afterburner/reheat switches on below the throttle for white switches. We will take off around 190 to 200 knots. The Concorde takes a good amount of runway. To take off, make sure to pull up hard, and then when the nose is up, just ease it out. Don't pull up too hard, and you will hit the tail. Okay. Lift off, and then landing gear up. Let's now enable the auto throttle. Now let's do the AutoPilot. Turn on both AutoPilot switches and the little knob left of the speed, which says RAD/NOR. Then click on LNAV mode switch, which says INS, and then Alt-Acquire next to the altitude display on the top right panel above the second flight director. We need to use the altitude hold and acquire buttons to just adjust the altitude to around 4,000 to 4,300 feet or so roughly as we have to climb this little hill. Make sure to do flaps up to close the nose. Looks like some issue with the AutoPilot and the altitude dropped, and it's back now. The problem after the update, the altitude drop is very steep when you descend sometimes. The speed is okay. Altitude is still picking up. The plane is now about to catch up to the navigation path. The VFR map here is not accurate for this plane, so it will be just a bit away from it, but eventually will catch up. If you have a problem with the autopilot navigation not catching up, make sure to turn off autopilot switches off and on again, and the RAD/VOR toggle switch off and on, and hit the LNAV acquire on off. This sometimes fixes the issue. I'm just sad the new updates has made things a bit worse. I'm just now requesting lower altitude, as we have no plans to be above 4,000 to 4,500 feet. We are a little away from the map, but it is turning. It's a wide turn to catch up. Ignore the ATC, as they will ask for 9,000 feet, but we don't need it. The ATC sometimes acts weird with the Concorde. Sometimes they don't understand that the requests need to be issued well ahead of time with this plane, especially altitudes, and descend/ascend, etc., especially before landing. Just have to reduce altitude a bit. That sound is now new after the update, where if the descend is a bit steep, it sounds that way.
Climb and maintain 6,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 6,000 feet, speedbird 007 heavy.
NorCal approach SkyWest 59er.
What we're trying to do is to get the plane around 3,000 feet or so now for descend altitude.
SkyWest 59er, 42 heavy NorCal approach altimeter 29.92 radar contact. Continue to follow it. SkyWest 59er, 42 heavy contact Oakland Center on 127.45. Good day.
We now also have to reduce speed to about 220 knots or so, and then later on we will set to around 200 knots. After the update, the speed also has problems. The speed acquire buttons won't work properly. Sometimes if that happens, especially during descend/ILS, just turn off auto throttle and manually set the speed. We forgot to turn off the reheat/afterburners. I'm turning them off now. Not a big deal here, but good to save fuel, especially on longer flights. Still trying to get the altitude right for descend about 3,000 feet or so. We will start descending around Heeman Waypoint, where we'll be out around 10 nautical miles.
Speedbird 007 Heavy, climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Speedbird 007 Heavy.
Get the landing gear out. Lower the nose down a bit, flap 2 setting. Don't worry, I'm not pressing any buttons yet, just checking the buttons for the approach mode. When you're ready to approach, then just press the approach button. Auto land button will automatically turn on. Do not just press auto land. Okay, now ready for approach. Press approach button on. I'm just checking the approach buttons. Did not turn it on yet. We'll turn it on at or just before Heeman Waypoint.
Skywest 59er, 42 heavy NorCal, approach altimeter 29.902 radar contact, continue to solid.
Tower on 120.5 Speedbird 007 Heavy. San Francisco Tower Speedbird 007 Heavy 11 miles southeast inbound ILS.
Ignore the too fast indicator. It doesn't know you're on the Concorde, although I'm a bit fast now. Even when you reduce the speed to 195 knots, it will still say it's too fast, and the guideline will be red. This is also an issue from the last update in 2024.
Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach Speedbird 007 Heavy.
We also have a problem. Now, even with 200 knots set on the speed, it won't slow down, and looks like the buttons are not working. Too many issues. So I'm going to turn off auto throttle and bring the speed down to 195 knots slowly.
Speedbird 007 Heavy, number 2 for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind calm, caution the Airbus.
Okay, now speed is coming down. We're on good glide slope. Ignore the too fast. It's a bug.
Cleared to land runway 28 left number 2 Speedbird 007 Heavy.
Landing speed for the Concorde is 195 knots. Anything lower, especially below 190, will stall the plane. One thing worth mentioning, I do not use Xbox for flying. It's not very realistic. So almost all the time, I'm on PC VR. Only when making videos, I fly this non-VR. And not really good at landing with external view. Plus, it's not realistic anyways. But for the sake of the video, it's okay. Plus, this plane can auto-land. You don't really need to turn off the autopilot, etc. You generally don't even need to pull up in Concorde, because it's already pitched pretty steep. That's why they even have a tail wheel to make sure in case if you hit the tail, it'd still be okay. Okay, so looks like it's not spot on with the auto landing. I might have to make some slight adjustment. Should have done it earlier, but that's fine.
Alaska 684 Heavy, exit runway
Okay, all good. We will get off and ask for taxi to gates.
4049er, heavy 13 miles southeast inbound ILS, runway 28 left approach. Southwest 4049er heavy, San Francisco Tower. Altimeter 29er.92, wind calm cleared ILS runway 28 left approach. Alaska 684 heavy, exit runway when able. Speedbird 007 heavy, turn next taxiway. Speedbird 007 heavy, contact ground on 121.8. SkyWest 4767 heavy.
Going to 121.8, Speedbird 007 heavy. San Francisco ground, Speedbird 007 heavy, request taxi to the
Okay,
gate.
I asked to proceed to the gates.
Speedbird 007 heavy, taxi to gate Delta 11 using taxiway Echo.
Taxi to
Ah,
gate Delta 11,
that's funny.
taxiway
We're going to the
Echo,
gate right in front of us,
007
and looks like someone is trying to get to my gate. Well, let's just get there before that guy takes it.
Ground Exogen 816 heavy, ready to taxi ISR. Exogen 816 heavy.
Sorry, I know we have to wait and all that, but since ATC has messed it up, we will just do this for fun.
Right, Foxtrot cross runway 1 right, Foxtrot. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready. San Francisco ground United 1585 heavy, ready to
Huh,
taxi ISR.
looks like the guy changed his mind. Maybe he was just about a taxi to take off, maybe? Either way, all good.
Short of runway 28 left via taxiway, Alpha Golf Bravo Foxtrot 1 cross runway 19er right, Foxtrot 1 cross runway 1 right, Foxtrot 1 Foxtrot.
Okay, we're all good. We will now turn off the engines and the battery. Good luck flying. I'll be doing another flight tutorial video with Concorde, but this time a longer flight at Mach 2.05 or so. There's a lot of challenges when descending at that speed. Have to start your descent around 300 to 400 miles away. Concorde is pretty hard to slow down in the air without brakes and flaps. Anyways, good luck and enjoy all your flights. See you soon.
Right, Foxtrot 1 cross runway 1 right, Foxtrot 1 Foxtrot United 1585 heavy.
I will now turn off the engines and the battery. Engine fuel cut switches are on the overhead panel. For black ones, battery switches are at the engineer's bay on the right behind the co-pilot, far right bottom. Good luck flying. See you soon.